When Sig stamps X5 on a pistol, you can usually count on a few features. Longer barrel, improved trigger, better sights. When Sig stamps X5 Legion on a gun, you can guarantee it's probably a marketing ploy. I'm Steve with The Shooting Edge. We're gonna take a close look at the P320 Xfive Legion. So today we are looking at the Sig 320 Xfive Legion. This is claimed by Sig to be the most fastest, advanced, bestest competition pistol Sig makes to date in the 320 series, and you better believe there are a lot to choose from. The 320, the 320 M17, the 320 Professional with X-Ray 3 enhanced sights, the 320 RX with Romeo sights, the 320 X5, the 320 Xfive Legion, and I'm sure I'm forgetting at least 4 or 5 or 6 more. You can do the actual research, Wyatt. So what I want to do now is explain to you guys what makes this an X5 series of pistol. And then after that, I'm going to explain to you guys the difference between the X5 and the Xfive Legion. So your X5 pistol that is not a lot different than this is going to include a deeply undercut trigger guard right here and a super high beaver tail right here to help the shooter grip closer to the bore. There is a grip weight in here that adds a few ounces to your hand, which will help produce a more balanced feeling in your palm. You can remove this if you want. An ambi slide release, I don't know if you can see that, but it sticks out, it protrudes a little bit more than the average slide release on both sides. X5 series will also come with a removable metal magwell right here. This thing works like a vacuum under the gun. It helps guide that mag in with no problem, no problem.
Does it actually have like a sucking action?
No, no, it's not a real vacuum, it's just an expression.
Can I use that for something else?
Your trigger is now an improved flat face trigger. The extended slide here now comes with cuts on the top to reduce weight. The goal was to reduce weight in reciprocating parts while allowing more weight in the static parts. Lastly, and you can't see it here because I happen to throw a Leupold Delta Point Pro on top, it does come with an adjustable rear sight, which goes here, like that, and a fiber optic front sight. Again, these are just features that you will find in any X5 series of gun for the 320. So probably one of the biggest differences between the Legion pistol and the standard X5 pistols is the new Tungsten infused grip module. They mix the polymer plastic formula with a tungsten powder of some sort to increase the weight. What that does is it takes it from 35 ounces in the standard X5 pistol to 43 ounces in the new Legion. Yes, they have increased the weight of your polymer gun, which is crazy because usually you buy a polymer gun because you don't want a heavy gun. The plate for mounting the optic is cut a little bit differently. The original X5 plate was cut for the Romeo 1. The new Legion is cut for the Romeo 1 Pro optic, which has an aluminum housing. You'll notice that Sig decided to skeletonize the trigger on the Legion series of pistol. That gives it a much more badass look, and allegedly they did lighten the trigger pull as well. I will pull out my trigger gauge in a minute and test it out.
3.5.
Your standard X5 pistol comes with 4 magazines. Your Legion series pistol, however, is only going to come with 3. That's unfortunate because, as we have been told, this is a competition pistol. So why only 3 mags, Sig? Your Legion magazines come with a textured bottom with the Legion insignia right there on the base stamped in there. It does look a little bit like a meat tenderizer. Lastly, the Sig Legion P320 comes with that standard Legion gray PVD finish. This finish does not have a good reputation. A lot of people claim that this wears off when it comes to holstering and unholstering. And as we've experienced so far, that is true. More on that later. So that is the P320 Legion at a glance. Is this the top of the line competition pistol Sig claims it to be? I don't know. Let's shoot it and find out. We're done shooting this pistol. There were some things I definitely loved and some things I didn't like so much. What's in the box? Let's take a look at what your $1,300 Sig X5 Legion comes with. So you got the gun, we'll set it off to the side. What else is in the box? 3 metal magazines. These are the ones with the Legion base plate. Cable lock, 1 Legion decal, 1 Sig sticker, 1 Legion sticker, 2 replacement fiber optic front sights. You have an orange and a green. The pistol itself comes with an, I almost said orange, that's green. Comes with a green. Owner's manual for the X5. A replacement 12-pound recoil spring. The gun itself comes with a 14-pound purple spring. This is a 12-pound orange spring. Your 320 Legion comes in this gray plastic case. It will, however, come in a fancy soft case if you apply for one. So your soft case is going to look kind of like this with the Legion insignia, and it's going to have a cutout, and it should have a Legion coin on the inside so you can show off to your friends that you are part of that exclusive club. You do have to mail away for it, and we have heard rumors that it could take up to a year here in Canada to actually see that case. Thanks, Sig. That's a long time, man. First pro is going to be the feel in your hand. Picking this guy up reminds me of picking up the Shadow 2. It's a nice natural feeling in your hand, and very few guns give you that sense of control with those ergonomics. I mean, compared to, say, the original 320 I just happen to have here, it feels like holding on to, say, a microwave or something large that is uncomfortable. Speaking of grip, I should mention hand placement is important, obviously, as a shooter. And my hand always goes in the same place. Whether I'm drawing from a holster, I'm putting it back, I never have to move my hand around or fidget to find the right place. It just naturally goes to it. And that is a huge, huge important factor when it comes to competition shooting, obviously. Okay, I cannot talk about pros without talking about the balance of this gun. That balance comes from the tungsten infused frame that adds weight. It is incredibly well balanced, and because of that, it doesn't feel like it's flipping out of your hand every time you squeeze the trigger. That little weight inside of the grip you can take out. I liked the heavy feeling in my palm, but if you're not feeling that, you can just pull that weight out. There is quite a bit of hate online, as was revealed when I Googled this gun, and a lot of people laughed and said, why on earth would I buy a polymer pistol with the same weight as a steel gun? Why not just buy a steel gun? I don't know. I couldn't really find an answer to that, and I'm not sure how to answer that myself. Now, I didn't love this trigger. I'm still gonna put trigger in pros, in that pros category, but I didn't love the trigger. I love that it's skeletonized, and I love that it's flat-faced. It looks pretty cool, and your finger sort of finds this natural point on it no matter how quickly you acquire it. It's just because it's a flat face, like it's hard to go wrong with it. I, however, really was not feeling the reset. So, unlike, say, the 226 firearm or something like that Sig makes, it has a crisp trigger pull, but a crappy reset. It's unpredictable. It seems to jump forward, slow down, jump forward, until finally there's an audible click, and then I can shoot again. But it's just not predictable, and it just feels kind of grimy. I just didn't love it. It just doesn't feel like a competition trigger to me. Let's talk speed. Now, how better to measure the worth of a competition pistol than to measure that pistol's ability to return to the target? So what I did was I put a few hundred rounds downrange as fast as I possibly could. The results at first were fairly frustrating. I have a red dot on this guy, and I thought that was a benefit. I mean, that's technology. Technology should make life easier. It was actually incredibly difficult and frustrating to acquire the target in the first 50 rounds. It didn't go so well. I had to get used to it, and then I started shooting well. After that, this gun was a tack driver. It was awesome. It shoots super flat, like it doesn't rise at all, and I think that's because of the heavy frame and the lightened slide here. So in the speed category, I'm still gonna check that box. Awesome. While we're on it, let's talk about some cons and start with this red dot. I felt like I could shoot better with iron sights, for one. For two, this thing is not easy to install. You have to take the whole slide off. You have to take off the rear sight and the plate as one piece, which is right here, and then you gotta throw her on. it takes more time than you would like, and it's not easy. I mean, halfway through shooting this, I wanted to go back to iron sights, but I couldn't do that without some tools from the gunsmith shop. So I just said, F it, I'll just keep shooting it and whatever. The Legion series is known to come with this gray PVD finish. It looks pretty cool out of the box, but after you've holstered it and unholstered it a couple hundred times, it wears super quick. So the gray plastic frame here did not show any signs of wear, and that's likely because that gray color is the entire way through it's just dyed polymer, right? Like the whole thing. That finish seemed to come off just from holstering and unholstering with a plastic holster, this Kydex holster right here, which by the way is brought to us by Grey Fox Strategic, and thank you guys for providing us with a wicked holster. I'll show you the other side in a second. Look, wear and tear. So my final thoughts, what did I think about this? Well, I'll be real, I absolutely did love this pistol. It was pretty cool. It did shoot very well, I'll say that. But is it worth the upgrade from the X5 to the Legion? Realistically, the only thing I can see that was different was the color for one, obviously, and then that heavier frame. And the heavier frame did allow me to shoot a little bit flatter, but is it worth the extra pennies to go towards that? Probably not. I would probably stick with the standard X5 over the Legion model. So that all said, I would rate this pistol 9 out of 10 scratches on your gray Legion PVD finish. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments and questions below. I'll see you next time. That is the P320 Legion at a glance. Is this the top of the line pistol Sig claims it to be? I don't know. Let's find out. Eddie, get your target out of my face.